right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the American League Divisional Series MLB GuardCast episode. I am Mike Vorhies. He is Bryan Shaw. No, not the pitcher. He's still gone. He's still chilling out in AAA. Bryan, we've made it. It's time for the Yankees. How do you feel right now?
I feel incredible. I tell you what, game one of the wild card was amazing. Game two was stressful. I'm glad I went to game one and didn't go to game two because I was able to swear in the confines of privacy
Of your house
and didn't have to have people here. There was a lot that went into game two. I mean, I understand that the shadows were a big play, a big factor because teams couldn't pick up on the ball.
Well, you got to look at the fact that the pitching was phenomenal in that game. Both teams were very deep and
very good. How do you feel about possibly retiring Corey Kluber?
I'm sad. I mean, I would love to see him don the Guardian uni just once. I mean, can he sign a one-day contract and then retire? I mean, that would be great. But if that's the last image of Corey Kluber, man, I feel really bad for him.
He's 36.
The first pitch was a strike. I think everybody admits that was a strike, and the ump just did not give him the call.
That ump was terrible.
He throws the same pitch and left it in middle in, and Oscar I should say SpongeBob absolutely crushed it. And
he knew that the bat flip was one of the most epic, just stank walk bat flips.
Yeah, he knew what was coming. But yes, so the Guardians defeat the Tampa Bay Rays 2-0.
You called it.
Yeah, I did. Game one was really good. We were trailing early, and then the man, the myth, the legend known as Jose Ramirez decides to put a ball in right center, a 2-run homer to give us the lead. And then, of course, our bullpen is better than Tampa's, so we were able to close the door game one. And then game two, my goodness. What else can you say? Tristan McKenzie pitched an absolute gem, but so did Tyler Glasnow for his third start from Tommy John. That kid was dynamic and electric, and Tampa went to their closer in the sixth, and I thought we could be in some serious trouble. But he goes, two batters. I think he hit Rosario, and then he walked the second batter and then leaves the game because his hand is numb. And I'm like, oh my goodness, this could be epic.
I thought that was a not so real injury potentially to get out of it.
Well, he hadn't pitched since September, what'd they say? September 28th was the last time Fairbanks had pitched. And I'm like, okay, well, this is odd. Cash going to him now. I'm like, okay, he's going to give him 2 innings, whatever. Well, then he 2 on, he leaves. And I'm like, oh, here's the golden ticket. Like, yeah, this is amazing.
That game could have ended a lot sooner if Josh Naylor doesn't double play out of it. Hold on,
before I got to blame somebody else first. You load the bases with your best hitter at the plate, Mr. Clutch, Mr. Jose Ramirez, who should be American League MVP, but he won't because the system's broken. Bases loaded. He's hit 2 grand slams this year. I'm like, all he's got to do is single, and we have 2 runs, and he strikes out. And I'm like, oh no, this is bad. Like, Jose's down, and then I called double play when Naylor walked up because it's just.
I actually thought there might have been a scenario there because of just how things weren't working out for the Tampa pitching at the time. I almost thought they were going to walk Jose in, give up a free run.
Wow, that would have been pretty sweet.
And then think about how that game would have ended if you would have won the game 1-0 by getting a free walked in run. But I thought they were going to try and avoid Jose at first and walk in a run, but that ended up not happening. We go 15. So I have to ask you, you picked Emmanuel Clase to be your MVP. Do you think he was MVP
of game one? Yes, because
game
he
one?
shut
Okay.
the door.
Yeah.
Yes.
But he also shut the door in game two.
Game
He
two,
did
he did
his thing.
phenomenal. And unfortunately, the MVP of game two is Gonzalez, because without that home run, we may not be having this conversation.
I have another MVP for you.
All right.
He's been your boy all season.
Andres Jimenez?
No.
Well,
Sam
Ahmed
Henches.
Rosario. Oh, we'll go 1 and 1A. I think
Sam Henches going
innings,
3 scoreless in that type of situation, because keep in mind, he hasn't pitched like that for most of this year. He hasn't been in a long relief guy.
Well, it's funny because my daughter had homecoming on Saturday. So I started watching the game at noon. Well, we had to go to dinner. So we left at 4:30. Game's still going. I'm listening to the game the entire time. Hamilton and Rosenhaus. I'm listening to the game. I'm not turning it off. We go to Olive Garden for dinner. Their game is on at the bar. There's going to be like a 20-minute wait. I sit and watch the game. We go get seated. And my wife's like, hey, can you put your phone away so that we can figure out what we're doing? I said, the Guardians are in the 15th inning. I don't want to put it away. I set it down, turned it off, ordered my meal. When I turned my phone back on, I got the notification. And I'm like, so all it took was me turning it off. I had to turned it off 7 innings ago. Like,
the magic of Mike getting off of his phone.
Yes. So yes.
Well, either way they did it. They're on to the ALDS. Game starts tonight.
Before we get to the Yankees series, I have a question for you, Brian, or anyone else listening out there in podcast land or watching us on YouTube. Are you looking to spruce up your company's logo or website? Are you looking for help when it comes to digital arts and marketing? Then you need to not look any further than NovaDigitalArts. You can check out their work at NovaDigitalArts at iCloud.com. Tell them we sent you, the MLB GuardCast. They are located in Green. Give Derek a call at 234-716-1687. Creating magic since 2007. Again, shout out to Nova Digital Arts, our sponsor, the people that make our graphics. We love them. They love us. So go help them as they have helped us. Bring on the Yankees.
Bring on the Yankees. So
and David
we have
and Goliath.
Garrett Cole versus Cal Quantrell tonight. Speaking of David and Goliath, we got a Guardians hype video on their Twitter, and then I tweeted a hype video by Clevelandology, CLEology.
Amazing, by the way,
and really, really great stuff. Really, really will get you hyped. Go check it out. But tonight we've got Garrett Cole versus Cal Quantrell. I'll show you my arm.
I had goosebumps, man. That was so good. We'll try to include a tag. I mean, obviously you can find it on our Twitter. I think we've both liked it and retweeted it. It's incredible. Watch it. It'll definitely get you hyped up for this series. But it is David and Goliath. I mean, they hit it right on the head. You have the team that has hit the most home runs, the Yankees, and the team that has hit the least amount of home runs in the Guardians.
Well,
two completely different.
Good thing this isn't a home run derby.
No, but we talked about this before when we got ready for the playoff preview, that usually it is home runs in postseason and lots of them. And the Guardians aren't in that equation when it comes to hitting home runs. Game 1, we win by a home run. We beat the Rays. Game 2, we win the series because of a home run. So anything's possible. They have to play the game on the diamond. A game is not played on paper. So.
And let's keep in mind, it's going to be very chilly in New York City tonight. I believe it's going to be roughly about 40 degrees or something like that, or in the 40s. So it's going to be a very chilly night for the Yankees game. That's going to be a factor. The ball's not going to be flying out as much, but also the Yankees ballpark is a home run ballpark. But we have Garrett Cole versus Cal Quantrell. Cal Quantrell was going to pitch game 3 if there was a game 3. Didn't have to pitch game 3. Now he's going to pitch game 1. And I think he'll potentially pitch game 4, but we'll get to that in a moment. In September and October, Garrett Cole has a 4.5 ERA, a whip of 1.02. Cal Quantrell has an ERA in September, October of 2.89 with a whip of 1.3. So Cole hasn't been early season Cole as of
Mm-mm.
late. And that
No.
could be a factor. I think the Guardians need to get game one because, or at least need to get past the starters quickly in any of these games to stand a chance. Because in game two, you have Nestor Cortez with a 1.32 ERA in September, October, a 7.3 whip versus Bieber, a 2.44 ERA and an 8.96 whip. So that one's going to be a pitching duel, I believe.
Yeah. Agreed.
Then on game three, we have Severino versus McKenzie. Severino in September, October, a 1.69 ERA, a 6.25 whip. So very good pitching out of the Yankees
Well,
starters. Two of the three of the Yankees starters, at least in September, October. And Tristan McKenzie, a 2.09 ERA with an 8.79 whip in September, October. Both Bieber and McKenzie pitched gems against Tampa. I think that they can continue that trend. The bullpen, I think, is going to be the biggest factor here. We saw what the bullpen could do against Tampa,
yeah.
but the Yankees bullpen, and again, this is September, October statistics, a whip of 138, which is 21st in Major League Baseball. The Guards have a 101 whip, which is second in Major League Baseball.
Yeah. I mean,
So if to
obviously,
play our style, to
mhm.
play our get on base, first to third, get them over, get them in, we got to get to the Yankees bullpen.
Well, the Guardians released their lineup for tonight. It's going to be the same lineup they went with game two, with Will Brennan getting the start at designated hitter. I like this lineup. I think that the lineup, this gives us our best opportunity. The Yankees come in hurting. Thankfully, this is a 5-game series. We are guaranteed to at least have one game at Progressive Field. That will be on Saturday night, potentially, or Saturday early afternoon,
I believe they're
depending
all
on.
I believe they're all night games.
Well, that will be great. I was going to say, depending on how Major League Baseball is feeling, I'm glad we're not the Phillies and Braves who got the 1 o'clock start time today, with the
Well,
Phillies currently winning, which is fine
it's
by
it's
me.
all
But
thanks to the New York Mets
yeah,
botching the game, botching their series, and now we play the Yankees, which is all going to be in prime time.
yep,
But game 3 is 7:37, game
okay,
4 is 7:07, game 5 is 7:37.
okay. So does it go 2-1-2, or does it
Two,
go two
two,
two
one.
one? Okay, so
So
we could
3 and
potentially
4,
have 2 games here in Cleveland.
3 and 4 is in Cleveland.
I would like for the Guardians to take game one tonight,
I
game
think that's
two
key.
on Thursday, and let's just close it out and sweep the Yankees under the rug and take it on Saturday. That would be great. Ideally, I'm a realist. This is going to be a very difficult series. The Yankees are obviously Aaron Judge, Mr. 62 home run. I mean, he's in that lineup. They're going to be missing DJ LeMahieu, which I think is big for us because I know he tattoos Indians Guardians pitching, like he owns us. I know that Stanton is struggling. Josh Donaldson had one of the worst years of his career. The Yankees are going to be a tough win, and like they've already said, it's a David versus Goliath sort of mentality here. But I like our chances. I really do.
Yeah,
Uh,
I think they can win is as long as they continue to play their style that they played in the regular season.
mhm.
I do worry a little bit, and there could be other circumstances. Like I mentioned, the shadows were definitely a factor in game two, but it did seem like at points that they were pressing a bit and they were just swinging for long ball as opposed to swinging for contact. It looked
I
like it got to the point where they were just trying to end the game.
Well, I think because they knew if they left it up to the umpire, that game would have gone 25 innings because media is talked about it, Twitter talked about it. That umpire behind home plate was awful.
hmm
I mean, just not consistent at all with the strike zone.
And the Jimenez phantom strike.
Yeah,
I watched the replay on that. He never calls strike two
nope.
on the check swing.
No,
Never calls strike
Hamilton,
two.
Tom Hamilton on the radio went nuts. I know Francona went nuts. Jimenez was not happy. Like, what happened? Why was there a missed call? If you don't call a strike, then that means it's a ball. And I know that the scoreboard changed
Mhm.
during Jimenez's at bat, where it had 2 strikes. Well, then it switched to 1 because somebody realized he never called strike 2, and then all of a sudden he's out, and everybody's kind of trying to figure out what's going on, and you can't have that. Not in postseason baseball.
No.
We've gotta tighten it up. Thankfully, it'll be a different umpiring crew. These games are going to be on the Turner Broadcasting Station, TBS, with Bob Costas, the iconic Bob Costas, calling the games
Back for
on
the first
TBS.
time in like
This is
15
gonna be,
years.
yeah, this is gonna be pretty sweet. I'm gonna have to flip back and forth between Bob Costas because he has one of the most iconic voices in all of sports,
I
but
just
we
hope
have Tom Hamilton.
I
So
just hope he did his homework because the announcers for us in the first 2 games were brutal. It's
well,
like
it's
not just
ESPN and yeah, Boog Shambi and whoever he had with him just were not at all. Just you could tell they weren't prepared.
no. That was just
And
what I was saying. And not only were they not prepared in terms of like pregame homework, it's like they weren't watching the game at times. Like when in game 2, I think it was game 2, Miles Straw had a single and they thought Owen Miller was still up.
they're not
Like
paying attention.
no, they
They're
weren't paying
not.
attention at all. It
It's
was just
it's
really bad.
ESPN. I can't stand, and I'll go on record, and you crucify me if you want. I'll go on record. I cannot watch baseball on ESPN. I can't. I don't like their announcers. I don't like Alex Rodriguez. I don't like Shambi. I don't like those guys because they don't care. They're there strictly just to be there on ESPN. I know Boog Shambi's bounced around quite a bit, and that's fine. And Alex Rodriguez, of course, is a no doubt Hall of Famer at some point. But enough's enough. Like, give me commentators that care about the game, that are going to talk about the game and actually make sense when they talk about the game, and not just ramble just to ramble.
So is your official prediction a sweep for
No,
the Cleveland Guardians?
no, this one's going 5,
This
and
one's
I
going 5.
I think
Okay.
this is going to go all 5.
And
Um,
are you gonna say Guardians in 5?
I have to because
Okay.
it's World Series or bust.
All
I
right.
mean, I don't want the Yankees to win.
Sure.
I think that if the Guardians take game 1, I may say in 4
Okay.
instead of 5,
All right.
just
I like that.
because I want them to clinch it at home. I want them to be able to do it in front of their fans. And I will disagree with you in who starts game 4.
Okay.
I think
Um,
it's going to be Aaron Savali who starts game 4.
see, I had thought maybe Bieber game 5 or Savali and Quantrell pitching 4, but then so you're saying it's going to be Quantrell game 5?
It's going to be everyone and their brother game 5. It is going to
Okay.
be, you're going to see, if it goes 5, you will see the Guardians throw every pitcher they have to win the series. I
Interesting.
can see Quantrill throwing 2 innings and Bieber throwing 2 innings and uh McKenzie throwing 2 innings, and they'll throw the entire kitchen sink
And then
at
if
the
you win,
Yankees.
but then what are you doing game 1 of ALCS?
You have a manager as Tito Francona, and I know he's a smart guy. So you're going to have to play that game as it goes, and you're going to have a feel for that game. But you also want to have your best pitchers available. How many days off would there be before the next game? If it goes 5, I think game 1 then would be Tuesday, either with Seattle or
Houston.
Houston. If it'd be in Houston if Houston wins, or it'll be in Cleveland if Seattle wins and Cleveland wins game 5. But you got Clase, you've got Karen Chack, you've got Stefan Hedges. Shout out to our boy Eli Morgan. I mean, he did fairly well when Sandlin went down with an injury. Nick Sandlin, I feel really bad for him because I was really hoping he would pitch well.
And
But he's
he
gone.
did pitch
Yeah.
pretty good even with the injury.
Cody
Um,
Morris has been added. Kirk McCarty has been removed.
mhm.
Tito did say that Morris and Savali are available for game 1 tonight in the bullpen.
So there's another option for game 5 too. Say Quantrell does go game 4. You could do Savali Plesac.
I forgot about Zach Plesac. I really did.
You could
So that
go
kind of
Savali
changes my
3,
mindset a little
Plesac
bit.
3.
We wouldn't have to use all 5 starters for game 5. Tito's smart enough to save one, maybe a Bieber for game 1, or maybe Tristan for game 1. But I did forget about Plesac, who could eat innings. We know Morris can throw about 65 pitches. That seems to be his limit. Henches through 3 innings, so anything's possible with him. Eli Morgan could throw multiple innings if need be. I just don't want to see Clase throw another inning and a third to get a save.
Yeah.
I don't want to see that again.
Yeah, I agree.
That was nerve-wracking.
All right,
And
so if they do win, who's your MVP?
when we win the series against the Yankees, not if, but when, I'm going to go with Miles Straw.
Ooh,
And
interesting.
here's why. This guy's going to be jacked to go back to New York after what happened earlier this season. For those that don't remember or were under a rock, Yankees fans were throwing things and yelling things that weren't very nice. And Miles Straw did a Spider-Man and climbed the wall and chewed out some fans. And that really brought this team together.
But remember what they were doing. They were mocking an injured Stephen Kwan.
They were
mocking an injured Stephen Kwan. So Straw went to his defense, and then they started throwing stuff at Miles Straw. And that's when he hopped up into the
I
stands.
think Miles is going to have a little extra added fuel for this one. I could see him making some sort of a defensive gem to really help us.
I like that. That's a bold prediction, and I do like that. I'm gonna go one on each side of the ball. I'm gonna go one pitcher, one.
Well, I'll give you a
one
pitcher.
Hitter. Yeah, give me.
I'll give you a pitcher. So my pitcher is going to be Trevor Stephan. And the reason I'm going to say Trevor Stephan, he was a former Yankees Rule 5 pickup by the Guardians. The Yankees left him open, and the Guardians took him, and he has been very, very good out of our bullpen. I think that he makes some very key appearances in this series to help us out.
Okay. I like those. Those are interesting picks. I like those. I'm going to go with, on the pitching side, Cal Quantrell, because I do think he's making 2 starts in this series. And if they are going to win, I think his starts are going to be key.
Can't say if. You have to say when.
All right. When they win,
you're wearing a Guardians jersey.
When they win, his starts are going to be key. I think they can grab game 1. I think that's one of their best chances to win. And then if Quantrell pitches game 4, then we have home at Progressive Field Cal Quantrell, who is undefeated. So I like that scenario there. And then in terms of on the batting side, I'm going to go with Ahmed Rosario, because I feel like he's going to have one of those series that just one of those stretches of just strings of hits. And I think that this could be the series that might seal the deal to force Cleveland's hand to keep him on board longer term.
Oh, I think the hand's already been forced. I really think Rosario is your starting shortstop next year, barring some sort of travesty. I think the fact that they took Gabriel Arias and they moved him all around the diamond in AAA, and they got him starts everywhere, left field, right field, third base, second base, shortstop, first base. I think that Arias could potentially be a first baseman for us.
Maybe, but I think this is going to be the series where the fans will demand it.
Oh yeah,
and there will be outcry, major outcry, if it doesn't happen. So those are my picks for MVP. As I mentioned, I think the keys to this series is you got to get to the Yankees bullpen, you got to get to Garrett Cole in game 1. Do you have any other keys that you think that are necessary for victory?
The one player that has to step it up from the Rays series is Andres Gimenez.
Yes, I agree. I picked him to be my
off.
I picked him to be my MVP for that series. He didn't quite show up.
You put a lot of pressure on him, apparently.
I guess so. But I thought about picking him again because he can control a game. He can't control the series.
Short porch
But
in Yankee Stadium.
but yes, he does need to step up. We need Josh Naylor to step up a little bit. He had a few hits here and there, but we need contribution from other guys
Mhm.
other than Bieber, Clase, Jose. It's got to be more than them.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I mean, it's I would love for like a Will Brennan to have his postseason moment. I would love for Austin Hedges to do something completely out of the ordinary and like hit a home run or something that we don't expect. I would love for Rosario to have a 4-hit game. Like Quan, I mean, we could sit here and everybody has to play their game. The Guardians
Yes.
have to play their style of baseball. They don't strike out. They make contact. It may not be great contact, but they make contact on, 0-2, 2-2, 3-2, and they're getting on base. So
Well,
that's what
either
it's going to
way,
take.
it's going to be very exciting. It's going to be a very exciting 5 days. Mike, where can people find you on social media?
On Facebook and Twitter, I am at Mike Vorhies. Brian, where can they find you and us?
We're GuardCast MLB on Twitter, MLB GuardCast on Facebook. I'm Weathershaw, WXSHAW on Twitter. Mike, it has been an incredible season. It has been an incredible wild card series, and I hope that we continue to have incredible postseason and we take out the Yankees. I was thrilled that the Mets got dropped, that $300 million payroll, and let's take out the evil empire.
Where's Frankie Lindor?
Sitting at
That's
home.
right. He's sitting at home. Oh, Jock Peterson. Oh, you're sitting at home
Also
too.
sitting at home.
Yeah, sorry guys. Payroll doesn't mean everything.
So let's take out the evil empire in the New York
Let's do it.
Yankees and continue on to. I think it would be something to if Seattle was able to knock off Houston.
That would be great.
That's a division.
Cleveland,
That's a
Seattle.
division rival too. Anything can
Yeah.
happen there.
Anything can happen.
So that would be a really interesting series. But
Yeah.
we'll talk about it either way.
We'll be back.
A week and a half from now.
Yep, we'll be back. We're either going to recap the Guardian season and talk about what we need to do to get better, or we're going to be celebrating a trip to the American League Championship Series and one step closer to a World Series, which this town desperately needs. It's been a long time, folks. 1948 is a really long time since we won a World Series.
Well, Mike, it's been great. I will talk to you soon.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, guys. We will see you very soon. Go Guards.